Why is Canadian news pretending that we are not getting the most scandalous information outside of America? The Epstein files have been going crazy. Ryan Grimm, excellent reporter, has been putting out story after story after story about things that they've been finding on Drop Site News. Go check it out for yourself. Email leaks after email leaks after email leaks that are really showing what Mr. Epstein was up to while he was alive. I mean, I feel like we all know he's probably still alive, but what he was up to while we were told that he was alive. This man has been gathering such diabolical blackmail on every world leader. I am positive. I don't even think Canada can be spared at this point. I believe we're all wrapped up in this, okay? One of the things, though, that I have been hearing is that Donald Trump was blowing somebody named Bubba. Let me get the exact quote for y'all because this is insane. And when I heard that and I went to YouTube and I'm checking out the Canadian news channels, just digesting what we're talking about for the day, I am not seeing that anything is being reported about Bubba. And I'm thinking to myself, this has to be the biggest news I've heard in a long, long, long time. Now, let me read you the official quote. And again, excellent reporting from Ryan Grimm at Drop Site News. Mark L. Epstein. So he's talking to somebody here whose name is, so there's Jeffrey Epstein. He's talking to somebody named Mark Epstein. So I think that's his brother or something like that. And this is a thread. So we're going to read it in the reverse order. A while back, you mentioned you were pre-diabetic. Has anything changed with that? What is your boy Donald Trump up to now? All good. Bannon is with me. Ask him if Putin has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba. So obviously Steve Bannon probably knows about this. And I think that's really interesting because if you guys will recall, Steve Bannon said, if Trump doesn't win, we're all going to prison. Okay. You and your boy Donnie can make a remake of the movie Get Hard. You mean Donnie T? I'd rather be in Donnie D's shoes. Also, they sent this with high importance. I don't know why that made me laugh. Why was there urgency behind that? Who's Bubba? After this broke, Mark Epstein, the other person on the thread, came out to say, I want to be super clear. I know everyone calls Bill Clinton Bubba. That's his nickname. But that's not who Trump was blowing. Mark, you came online to say that that wasn't who he was blowing, not that he wasn't blowing someone named Bubba. Why isn't this the front page of every Canadian newspaper? What is with this weird thing that we have going on where we feel like we need to cover up some of the more nefarious things that Trump is doing? He met his wife on the Lolita Express. And now it's coming out that it's actually quite possible that Jeffrey used to just give girls to his friends once they aged out. So he might have had Melania, because remember, she was a model, modeled so good that she got a Genius grant, so whatever. Maybe she really understood lighting. Maybe she was a physicist who just really understood lighting and decided to just put it to work in modeling. Who knows? Don't judge. But anyhow, apparently Epstein just was like, here you go, Donnie. Have this one. After she aged out. Because once you turn 18, he's like, yuck. Or 16, whatever the legal age of consent is, wherever these guys were. Once you hit that age, he's like, ugh. Epstein's like, yuck, you're old. Old as shit. 16? Ugh. You can drive almost. He doesn't want that. That's not his thing. He likes them young, as Donnie knows. And so he hands Melania over to Trump. And apparently the first time they bone is on the Lolita Express. So this is happening. This is coming out. Everybody is talking about it. But Canada, once again, we're not talking about it. I'm reminded of our functionally retarded premier putting out an ad that upset Donald Trump. And maybe we're just all really scared that if we talk about it, Donald Trump's going to get pissed. And then our trade talks will blow up again. I don't know. What other reason could there be? Their economy is hanging on by a thread, though. So I'm not really sure why we are taking these kinds of precautions. The guy was blowing someone named Bubba. And unless Bubba is Canadian, I don't really know why we're not talking about it. I went on CBC's website and I just did a search. I'm like, maybe I didn't catch the story. Maybe I didn't catch it when they spoke about it. But no, the most recent story they have of Bubba is Bubba Christopher Pollock, a man from Windsor who, after having a beef with an LGBTQ identifying person, wanted to troll them. So went to the hospital where their dying father was asleep and took a selfie with him. I don't know if Trump blew this man. That definitely seems like his type. I don't know. But Trump likes men. We can agree with that, right? We all saw the TikToks of that guy mouthing Trump's own speech with the faces and stuff. We all saw that. I'll play a clip for you guys if you want. Here's a few seconds of it.
But Arnold Palmer was all man. And I say that in all due respect to women, and I love women. But this is a guy that was all man. His man was strong and tough. And I refuse to say it, but when he took showers with the other pros, they came out of there, they said, oh my God, that's unbelievable. I had to say it.
You're telling me this guy who has said all of these things doesn't like men? You all saw how he looked at Zoran. Okay? JD Vance was livid. JD hit the gym. Hit the gym, chubby. Okay, Trump's not a chubby chaser. So if you really, JD looks like he was jealous. Jealous. Hit the gym, baby. Put on a solar camise or something. I don't know. Corta. But Canada, mum's the word. This is not for politeness, because we'll report on all types of nonsense. So this isn't for politeness. What is this about? I smell a cover-up, and I don't like it. There's a lot of people investigating the American ties to this Epstein stuff. I think we're about to see some Canadian ties coming out. And that's why we're not seeing this. Oh, excellent. The Gem just reminded me that Mark Carney was actually friends with Ghislaine Maxwell. So is he the reason that we're not reporting on this? I don't know. I'm not saying that it is. I'm not saying that it isn't. I just think it's a little bit weird. There are so many things that we report on from the White House. But I'm not seeing the kind of wall-to-wall reporting I'd expect to see about the fact that Ghislaine Maxwell is basically treating the warden of her prison like a servant. Apparently he's over there trying to reenact everything that happened in Orange is the New Black, be mean to all these women. And Ghislaine's like, no, go get me what I asked you for. And don't make me ask twice. That's Ghislaine right now. The warden and his staff are looking at each other like, are we supposed to take this disrespect from a fucking child trafficker? And they're being told yes. Yes, absolutely. Don't make Ghislaine wait. And make sure you hit up all of her dietary restrictions too. I don't know what's going on. Epstein is a Mossad agent. Epstein has blackmail on everyone. Trump is apparently on video blowing someone, and Putin has the video. Then Zelensky came to the White House and got disrespected. Okay, Melania hates his guts. We might know what that's about right now. Where is Canada? Why are we talking about this? Mark Carney, are you linked up with Ghislaine Maxwell? Canada needs to embrace this whole, we need to put people through a litmus test here. Because in the States, if you're not paying attention, every time a politician is outside, people are asking him or her, what's your relationship with Israel? What is your relationship with Israel? Do they pay you? Are you friends with them? Because if you are, we can't be friends. You have the right to go ahead and kneel at the altar of Bibi if you want to. But that does mean, unfortunately, we're not going to do business. And Canadians need to get on that. Today, if I'm not mistaken, literally today, Eve Engler is having to show up in court because insane Zionist Dahlia Kurtz had him charged over Twitter, over tweets. He didn't DM her. She didn't ask him to take it down. She didn't DM him. He quote tweeted her and just basically opined on her insanity. And of course, she called it insane anti-Semitism. And that's why anti-Semitism is becoming a joke. And there's going to be real anti-Semitic crimes here. If you guys did not catch the story on CBC, there's a whole neo-Nazi group in Canada that's outside recruiting people. And you all know who neo-Nazis attack first. So people like Dahlia Kurtz are putting her own community in danger while putting people who want to speak up for Palestine in legal trouble. And we don't hear about that kind of stuff on the news. I don't hear about that on Power in Politics. Eve Engler is literally running for NDP leadership. What is going on here? What is the Canada-Israel connection that we are not seeing? Somebody needs to focus on this. Somebody needs to focus on this and find out what's going on, because this isn't normal. This news media loves sensationalizing things. It is their opium. They need a story. They need a headline. It is everything they want to be able to grab you in and pull you in and tell you a story and bring on a panel and discuss it, advertising, ad. They love it. They love it. Think about every sensational thing that's ever happened. The news cannot get enough of it. But Trump blowing someone isn't even going to be buried on the CBC website. What's up? What's up? Anyhow, I just thought that was food for thought. Canadians ought to think about this, and Canadians ought to think about adopting this litmus test that's showing to have real results in the States. I point to Zoran Mamdani. Anyhow, we're going to wrap it up here. And the Gem, all good? Fighting Captivity out.